was established in the year of 2019, and we have the prime motive for impacting the quality education in the engineering and modeling the students to crack the competitive and PSQ examinations. And Eklavya Group of Technologies providing the innovative engineering skill development solutions for the engineering students and who are intended to learn advanced technologies in the various domains like VLSI, embedded, AI, IoT, Python, Java, or more of new buzzword technologies. And Eklavya Group of Technologies, which is going to be offering 8 weeks and 6 months in industrial training programs or internships for the BTechs and polytechnic students for the various disciplines like ECE, EEE, CME, IT, and CSE as well. And we have expertise trainers, and we have expertise participants and impacting the particular knowledge to share their experience and prepare the students for this a new technical world. And we can handle the research and academic projects related to the various technologies for the different disciplines like UG and PG as well. This is a few highlights of Eklavya Group of Technologies, and I am privileged to introducing today's resource person and Mr. S. Lokesh sir, and he was completed his UG and PG in state universities, and now he's pursuing the PhD from the state university, and totally have the 9 years of teaching experience and in the research experience as well. And he was working as a assistant professor in the various engineering colleges as well, and he have the research experience, and he have the DST CSRA projects, and he published 8 international journals, and he was very interested, and his research area is also biomedical signal processing and embedded systems image processing as well. And he's working with a chief technical advisor with Eklavya Group of Technologies. Apart from this all, he's a well-wisher of Eklavya Group of Technologies. This is a brief profile about today's resource person, and with your all permission, I'm going to be handovering today's session to Lokesh sir. Sir, you can start the session. Thank you very much for all the participants.
Okay, good morning, one and all. So at the outset, I'd like to thank KSRM Engineering College for giving me the opportunity to share my knowledge on different technology like Arduino and MSP430, and I like to thank Eklavya Group of Technologies to give me this opportunity. So without delay, so we are going to jumping into the session. So So I think, is it audible? Audible for anyone? Audible for everyone? Yes. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So, so for the 3 days faculty development program, first we will start with the MSP430. To know about the MSP430, we need to know about the Arduino first. If you know the Arduino, then it will be easy to learn the MSP430. That's why in this session we are going to be learning about the Arduino. So what is meant by Arduino? So what are the different types of Arduinos and how the IDE is going to be installed, and some of the basic program of the Arduinos. Practically we will see how the programs are going to be dumping into the Arduino board and the basic programming. Okay, so let's start the section. First, so we need to know about the embedded system. So to know about the microcontroller, first what we require to know is we need to know about the embedded system. So as we know that embedded system is a combination of hardware and software. So there is a embedded system is a combination of computer hardware and software. So designed for the specific function or function within a large system. So in the embedded system, we are having a both hardware and software. Hardware is nothing but VLSI chips. So what are the ICs we are going to be having? This is the microcontroller, and software is nothing but, so to control this hardware, we need to write the program. So that's going to be called as a software. So these systems can be programmable or fixed functionality. The embedded system is going to be having a fixed functionality, or we can able to easily program that one. So I will show you some of the examples of the embedded system. So these are the examples. So industrial robots, GPS receivers, digital cameras, DVD players, wireless routers, set-top boxes, gaming consoles, photocopiers, microwaves, MP3 players. All these are the examples for the embedded system. So I will go for the one thing. So I will go for the industrial robot. Let us take in an industry we are having a robot arm. So the pick and place robot arm. So in that one we are going to be used. So this is going to be called as the embedded system. So in this one we are using the microcontroller and we will program it. So according to our requirement. That is nothing but to pick a thing and it's going to be placing into the another place. So pick and place robot. So that's the example of the embedded system. The heart of the embedded system is a microcontroller. As we already know, microcontroller is a compact integrated circuit designed to govern a specific operation. So this is the heart of the microcontroller. Without the microcontroller, we don't have any embedded system. So that's why a microcontroller is the heart. A typical microcontroller is going to be having a, as we know that, so we are having a microcontroller. In that one, we are having a processor and memory and input output. All are going to be in a single chip. So that's going to be called as a microcontroller. So these are the different microcontrollers manufacturers. So like Atmel, AVR, Mega, ATX Mega, Atmega, PIC 8051, Arduino, so ARM. So all these are the manufacturers of microcontrollers. So here, if you see here, if I go for the Atmega, so the Atmega 328P is nothing but Arduino. So we are having all the devices, peripherals are going to be put in a board that's going to be called as the Arduino board. So then here we are having a different types of Arduino board like Arduino Lilypad, Arduino Mega, Arduino Nano, Arduino Mini, Arduino Uno, Arduino Leonardo. So like this we are having a different classifications of the Arduino. Okay, so here we will go for the Arduino Uno. First we will try to understand about the Arduino Uno. So the Arduino Uno will look like this. So why we are going for the Arduino Uno? So why we are going for the Arduino? So Arduino is, so it's an inexpensive. We can able to buy this Arduino in a very cheap. So it's a cross platform. So we can able to program this one in any OS like Windows or Arduino or Android or any OSs. In the any OSs we can able to program this one and we can able to download it. Next is it's a simple and clear programming environment. The programming environment of the Arduino is very simple. So we are going to be seeing about the Arduino IDE. There you can able to see that the programming is very clear and simple. Next, open source. Arduino Uno is an open source and extensible software. So they are not going to be charging anything for the Arduino IDE. So we can freely download the Arduino IDE, and it is an extensible software. So if you know the C and C++ programming, so then we can able to extend the software. So by placing the libraries, so we can able to extend the software. Next, open source and extensible hardware also. So if you are having a hardware knowledge, we can able to modify the overall hardware structure architecture of the Arduino. So these are the advantages. That's why we are going for the Arduino Uno. Inexpensive, cross-platform, simple and clear programming environment, open source, extensible software, open source, extensible hardware. So that's why we will go for the Arduino Uno. Okay, so if you see the Arduino Uno, so the specifications of the Arduino Uno is like this. So it's going to be using the IC Atmega 328P. So the most recent boards are going to be utilizing. So it's having a digital I/O inputs, 14 digital I/O inputs. As you know that digital I/O inputs are there, but digital input and output pins. So we can able to connect 14 digital input-output devices to this 14 pins. Out of which we are going to be having 6 will provide the PWM output, pulse width modulation output. So we are having analog inputs as a 6 analog inputs. The flash memory is a 32 kilobyte, SRAM is a 2 kilobyte, and EEPROM is equal to 1 kilobyte. So like this, these are the specifications of the Arduino Uno. So if you see the board, the overall board will look like this. It's having a starting with the power port, voltage regulator, USB port, reset button. So these are the digital input output buttons, and these are the built-in LEDs. So this is the power LED. So these are going to be having a analog pins, and these are the power and output pins. So these are the board, how these are the Arduino board, how it is going to be look like. So we will go for one by one. So if I go with this one, so first we are going to be having a reset button. The purpose of the reset button is it will start the execution of the program from the beginning. So whenever I am going to pressing this one, the program will be start from the starting point. So that's the purpose of the reset button. Next, we are having a USB port. So in this USB port, we are having a two purposes. So one is the power, we can able to give the power. Our second one is we can able to load the program from our PC. So this is the standard A to B USB port. Standard A to B USB port. So after that, we are having a voltage regulator. So this is a voltage regulator which is going to be regulating the voltage up to 5 volts. Okay.
Sir,
So
Lokesh,
whatever
sir.
yes.
Small disturbance, sir. Please pin your presentation screen, sir.
Oh. I think is it okay now?
No, okay, sir.
Yeah. Yes. So we are discussing about the voltage regulator. This is the voltage regulator which will give the output as a 5 volts. Here we are having a power port. This is going to be called as a barrel style connector. So we can able to connect a power from the wall socket, So then it's going to be they are going to be having some specification for this one. So the accepted voltage is 5 volts to 20 volts, and the recommended voltage is 7 to 12 volts. So if you give above this one, the board will burn out. So that's why please be caution. Whenever you are giving the voltage, you need to give between the 7 to 12 volts. That's the recommended voltage for the Arduino Uno to work properly. Next. So if I go for the next thing, so here we are having a digital input output pins. So these are the 0 to 13 digital input and output pins. So for these pins, I can able to connect any digital I/O device, input and output device. I can able to connect any digital input or output device. So that is nothing but Arduino Uno is capable of connecting 14 I/O devices. So the pin number 0 and 1 is having a multi-purpose. It can be act as a digital input output pins, as well as it can act as a transmitter and receiver pins. So from the sensors, if we need to connect the transmitter and receiver, so then we can able to connect here. TX is nothing but transmitter, RX is nothing but receiver. So it can able to receive from the outside world, or it can able to transmit from Uno to outside world. So this is the special purpose we are having a digital input output pins apart this one. And you can able to see that here we are having a PWM, pulse width modulation pins. So this is the symbol, tilt symbol. So 10, 11, 6 and 5 and 3 are the power pulse width modulated pins. Okay, so we can able to directly connect there. For example, if I need to connect a servo motor, so servo motor is nothing but to give a precision angle from 0 to 360 degrees. So if I need any precision angle, then I can able to connect. I need to connect the servo motor. The servo motor can be connected to any one of these PWM pins. Next, here having a built-in LEDs. So these are on LED. So these are on LED. Whenever we give the power, it will be on. So these are the built-in LEDs. So one is the L, TX, and RX. Okay. So the L is nothing but, so whenever we are going to be uploading the program, or whenever so this is the inbuilt LED which is connected to the pin number 13. Internally, it is going to be connected to the pin number 13. So whenever we are going to be uploading any program, then so this LED, the LED will blink. Next, so this is the TX and RX LEDs. So whenever the transmission and receiving is going to be happening, so then this TX and RX will blink. So these are three are status LEDs. It will tell the status of the Arduino. Next, so this chip is called as a Atmega 328P. So this is the chip. So IC chip, IC. So this block is the IC, the microcontroller IC. Okay, next. So these are the analog inputs. A0 to A5 are the analog inputs. So 6 analog inputs. So we can able to connect 6 analog devices by using these pins. Next, these are the power and ground pins. So if I require any 5 volts power, 5 volt, 3.3 volts, the power, Arduino will supply this one. Next, this is the ground and this is the V-in. I can able to give the input voltage by using this any power port or USB port, or directly I can able to give it here V-in. Next, we are having a reset. So previously we have seen about the reset button. So either I can able to utilize this one or I can able to connect here. Next, IO reference. So if I require any input output reference voltages, for example, let us take I am having a external ADC, analog to digital converter. So there I require the reference voltage. So for that purpose, here we are having a IO reference. So these are the pins we are having a. Next, we are having a ICSP. So this is going to be called as the in-circuit serial programmer. So these are the different things which are going to be presenting in the Arduino Uno. Next, if I go for the Atmega 328P pin out, how it is going to be look like? So the Arduino, Atmega 328 pin out is going to look like this. So this will look outside. So these are the Arduino pins actually. So you can able to see these are the Arduino pins. Internally, we are having a 28 pin, starting with the pin number 1 to 28. So that's why you can able to go Atmega 328 pin. 28 pin we are having it. So these pins are going to be multi-purposes. So like this can be utilized as the ADC3 PCINT level. So like that. So multi-purposes are going to be having here. So R you can able to see here. So we are having a master in slave output, R master out slave input, SS chip selection and clock. So these are going to be utilized for the SPI communication. So like this. Like this. So they are having a different functionality. So this XTAL1, XTAL2 is going to be utilized to connect the oscillator, crystal oscillator. Okay, so like that. So here we are having a ground and VCC pin and digital pins also going to be presenting. So this is how the Atmega 328P is going to be look like. So these pins are having a multi-functionalities. So they are going to be having a multi-functionality. Next, so how to connect Arduino Uno? So we can able to use the standard A to B USB and we can able to connect to your PC like this. So whenever you are connected to the PC, so then the power on button, power on LED will blink. And this is also L. So there is a pin number 13. The built-in LED will also blink. So that's how the overall setup is going to be looking. This is how you can able to plug in an Arduino board into your PC. Next, if I need to write down a program for the Arduino, I require a IDE, Integrated Development Environment. So you can able to freely download by using this link arduino.cc. So from there you can able to download the Arduino IDE. So without paying a single rupee, you can able to download that one because this is the open source. That's why you can able to easily download there. So I will show you some small snippets how we can able to install this one, because there is a one important thing. So you need to consider whenever you are going to be installing. You know all these things, but so first download the file from your website and press the run. So then you need to give the consent. So I agree. So this is the important step. So whenever you are going to be installing, so it will ask the installation options. then you need to tick you need to select all these things. So please be careful. You need to install the USB driver also. USB driver also. Select all these things, then go for the next. Then setup will install.
Lokesh sir? Lokesh sir, your voice is muted, sir. Please unmute yourself. Lokesh sir, my voice is audible?
Yeah, now is it okay?
No, okay, sir. No, it's okay, sir. Continue this, no, continue session, sir, no problem.
Yeah, I will continue. Yeah. So so now you can able to see that. So this is the first. You need to download the file and go for the run, and you need to consent. You need to give a consent. So this is the important step. So whenever
Lokesh sir?
hello,
Hello, sir.
is it audible?
No, audible, sir. Someone is muted, sir. That's why.
Okay, no issues, no issues. Okay, I will go.
Okay.
I will.
Okay, sir.
Yes. Yes, so this is the Arduino IDE, how it is going to be look like. So first we will go for the console. So here it will show if any errors are going to be presenting in your code. You are writing the code here and you are going to be compiling that one. And if there is any errors, it will shown by here. The status of the update or everything is going to be shown here in this console. And you can able to see at the left corner you can able to see so which board you are going to be connected to, which serial port you are going to be connected, board name and serial port. So here you can see Arduino Uno is the board name and is connected to the COM port 23. This is the serial port. Okay, so now here the code goes, whatever the code you are going to be writing, so the code will go here. Okay, so next here we are having a one thing, the tick button. So this is the verify button. So whenever you press this button, so it will verify internally. It is going to be compiling the code. So to find out any errors, it will compile the code. If there is any errors, it will show here. Next, second one is upload. After compilation, without having any errors, if it is compiled, then the program will be uploaded into your Arduino Uno board. So by pressing this one, we can able to upload the program, executed program, into the our Arduino board. So next, you can able to see is these are new tab. So in Arduino world, they will call the program as a sketch. They will call the program as a sketch. So this new tab, if you press this new tab, you can able to have the new sketch. Next, to open the existing sketch, you can go for this button. To save the sketch, you go for this button. So these are the buttons we are going to be having in the menu. Next, the important thing is a serial monitor. So if you need to look for the messages from your Arduino, so please open this monitor. First, you need to have a serial communication. Then, so if any messages are coming from the Arduino, then you can able to, by pressing this one, you can able to view the messages which have sent it by the Arduino. Okay, so these are the Arduino IDE, how it is going to be look like. So the important thing here in this menu, we are having a tools option. So we will see this one practically. So in the tools, go for the serial port. So then select the serial port, to which the Arduino is going to be connected. So we will see that one, how we are going to be selecting this port. So if your board is a genuine board, so it automatically tells about this port number. So this is the port number COM23. In brackets, it will give the board name like Arduino Uno, Arduino Mega, or Arduino Nano, something like that. If it is a genuine board. Next. So after this one, go for the board. Whatever the board you are having, you select that one. So like Arduino Uno, something like this. So whatever the boards you are connected to this PC, so to which you need to program. So then you need to select this one. So next. So these are done. So the program after compiling, if any errors are going to be having, so this is going to be shown like this. These are errors. So after the errors, it will show the done uploading. Upload will be uploaded. So this is how the status will be shown here. Okay. So next. So how we can able to write the programs, Arduino programs. So in the Arduino board, the programs are going to be called as sketches. How we can able to write the sketch. So first, write the code in the Arduino IDE, test the code. Testing is nothing but compilation of the code. Compile the code to find out the errors. If there is any errors, find the errors. If there is any errors, go for the again to the right code, modify that one. So again, you go for the test code. That is nothing but compile the code. If there is no errors, then go for the uploading the code. Go for the uploading the code. So like this. So these are the things. So how the Arduino program is going to be having basic Arduino flowchart. Basic Arduino flowchart. Okay. So next. So as we know that the Arduino community is called as a program as a sketch. So in the sketch we are having two main functions. One is going to be called as a setup function, and second one is going to be called as a loop function. So this is the setup function, and this is the loop function. This setup function will run only once. Whenever we give the power or whenever we press the reset button, so then the code which we are going to be put in the setup function will run only once. Whereas if you go for the loop function, so this is the way we are going to be writing our main code. The main code will be written here. It will be continuously run. Okay. So these are the two functions. And one more thing is the setup function is used to initialize the variables. So whatever the variables we are going to be utilizing, so that will be initialized in here in the setup function, and we will tell about the pin modes. So we will see that one. What is meant by pin mode? In the digital I/O pins, so we can make them as an input or we can make them as an output. So those are going to be done by using the pin modes. So the pin modes will be initialized in the setup function. So whatever the libraries so we are using, so we will put into the setup function. So this is how we are going to be having a setup function. Next, if I go for the loop function, so this is going to be looping for every time. So this is a way we are going to be writing our main function, main program, whatever the program we are going to be having. So we will write that main program in this loop function. Okay, so this is how about the setup function and main function. So this is the bare minimum sketch. So in the bare minimum sketch, we are having it main these two functions. Okay, so now we will see about the first program. So this is called as the blinking program. So before going to the see the blinking program, so we will see about how the Arduino IDE going to be look like. So the Arduino IDE will look like this. This is the shortcut of the Arduino IDE. So if you press this one, it will open like this. This. So it will be taking some time. Yes. So this is the Arduino IDE, how it is going to be look like. See here. So this is the bare minimum sketch. So as we have seen, so there we are having a setup function and a loop function. Setup function and loop function. 1 second, please. I don't think it's visible. Yes. So this is the setup function and this is the loop function. In the setup function, we will put the code to run once, and in the loop function, the main code will be run here. Okay. So first, we will go for the our simple blink program. Okay. See here. So this is the blink program. So there we have written as a void setup. So this void setup is going to be a function where we are going to be initializing the LED pins. So this is the pin mode function. So there we are using the pin mode function to tell the particular pin whether it is a output pin or input pin. So here I am using a keyword which is called as the LED built-in. The meaning of this LED built-in is nothing but a pin number 13. Pin number 13. So there is the built-in LED. The pin number 13 is connected to the built-in LED. So that's why what I am making is I am making the pin number 13 as an output because I am connecting a LED to this pin number 13. So externally I can able to connect any pin. So here you can able to write any pin from starting with the 0 pin to 13 pin. You can able to write any pin. Next, if you go for the loop function, so there you are utilizing the digital write function. So this is the digital write function. So it will write the digital value either 1 or 0. 1 is nothing but on, 0 is nothing but off. So here 1 can be written as a keyword which is called as a high. High nothing but 1, low nothing but 0. Digital write LED built-in, comma high. The meaning of this statement is, so we are writing a logic 1 to the pin number 13 where we have connected our LED. Next, you can able to see the next thing. It is called as a delay 1000. So it will give a delay for 1 second, 1000 milliseconds. So 1000 milliseconds, 1 second. So delay is nothing but The CPU will not execute anything. It simply give a time. Okay, next. After this one, so we will write. We are going to be utilizing the digital write. So writing the digital with the low value, with the low. So low is nothing but I am writing a 0. So if you understand now, so first I am writing as a high 1, making switching on. After some time I will off. Again, after some time I will on. So now the LED is going to be blinking continuously. So this is the program how it is going to be look like. Okay. So now what I will do is I will try to connect a board and I will try to dump the program into the Arduino Uno. Okay. So for that one, so I am using the standard A to B USB. So if I connect the Arduino, it will give a sound. You can able to listen that sound. Like the after detection of the OS, it will give it was given a sound. Okay. So after this one, so go for tools, go for the boards. In the boards, try to select Arduino Uno. Okay, once you have selected the Arduino Uno, again go for the tools, go for the port. You can able to see here. Mine is a genuine Arduino board. That's why it's shown as a COM15. The Arduino Uno is connected to the COM15. Please select this COM15. Now after selecting that one, so please press this tick button, which is going to be called as a verify. You can able to see here, verify. So indirectly, we are compiling the sketch. You can able to see here, compiling the sketch. You can able to see the progress of the compilation also here. Progress of the compilation, and you can able to see here. So which board, Arduino Uno board is connected on COM15. It is connected on the COM15. So you can able to see here, compiling the sketch. So now it's compiling the sketch. The status is going to be shown like this. Progress. Okay. So after compilation, it will give the message as a done compilation. Okay. So now go again here, upload the program. By pressing this one, we can able to upload the program. You can able to see here. So while uploading also, once again it will compile the sketch and upload. So that's why from the next time onwards, what we will do is we will directly go for the uploading instead of compiling. So you can able to see here, done uploading. The program is uploaded into your Arduino Uno. Okay. So I will connect the pins according to our requirement, like it is connected to the pin number 13. The LED is connected to the pin number 13. One pin is going to be connected to the pin number 13, and another one need to be connected to the ground. So then you can able to see the output also. So I will show you how the output is going to be. Yes. You can see here, this is the Arduino board. So I have connected to an LED. LED is connected. So you can see the two LEDs. Actually, one LED is a green LED. Totally 3 LEDs. One is the green LED. Second one is the orange LED, and third one is the red LED. So the green LED is the power LED. Whenever we have given the power, it will blink. So the orange LED is a pin number 13 inbuilt LED. So the same pin number 13, I have connected the external LED also. That's why both the orange and the red LEDs are blinking continuously according to our program. So it's continuously blinks. So this is how the program is going to be work. Okay, so we will move on to the next program. Yes. So next one is serial communication program. So how we can able to communicate serially? So this program will explain. So let us take a situation where I am having an Arduino board and I don't have a LCD to display whatever the messages the Arduino board is going to be showing us. In those cases, I will go for the serial communication. So there, I will use the serial communication, and it will whatever the messages which are sent by the Arduino will be displayed on the serial communication in our PC. Okay, so this is a program. So here we will start in the setup function. We will start with the serial begin with the 9600 baud rate. Okay, so the program, the serial communication will start with the 9600 baud rate. So there is a small difference between this.
Lokesh sir?
Yes.
Please ping your screen, sir.
1 second. Yeah, I think it's okay now. Hello?
Hello, okay, sir.
Yeah. Yes. So this is the serial communication program. So where we are using the serial.begin with the 9600 baud rate. So there is a small difference between the bit rate and baud rate. So bits per second is nothing but bit rate, whereas the number of changes in signal per second is a baud rate. Okay, so there will be some similarities. So if I go for the 1 bit, okay, so there's a difference. So serial communication will start with the 9600 baud rate, and so from the Arduino, we are going to be printing a message. Serial.println is a function. By using this function, we can able to print out whatever the messages we need. We can able to print out here from the Arduino board. So this is the delay. So we already seen about the delay. Delay is nothing but it will give the 1 second delay. So it will done nothing with in that period. Okay. So we will see the execution of this program, how it is going to be executed. So first, yes. So this is a serial communication. So first, as we know that, so I will repeat the steps. First, go for the tools and select for the board. So here you need to select the Arduino Uno. Go for the port. Select for the port which you have connected to the Arduino. Then after that one, so go for the verify. So the verify will compile the sketch. So this will give the status here. If there is any errors, so it will show here. It will show here. So what I will do is, so I will put a comment here. If you give the backslash twice like this, so this is going to be called as a comment. Okay. So then I will verify. Now it need to show error here in the console. It need to show the error. Compiling the sketch. So it will, this is the status. So it will give us here. You can able to see. So it's expecting a close braces here. So like that, because I have done it. Now I will modify this one. Again, I will compile. Now after compilation, it will give the errors because it don't have any errors. That's why we give the no errors. Yes. Next, after that one, upload the program. Yes. Now we need to know. So we need to press the serial monitor. Then we can able to get the output. This one, whatever the output we have given, the output is going to be given here. We'll print from Arduino. From Arduino. So that's why if you look at here, I need to show one thing here. So the transmitting and the receiving pins. So we have shown the transmitting and receiving pins. Yes, you can able to see that. It's continuously blinking the transmitting and receiving pin. So here it is transmitting. It's transmitting from Arduino. From Arduino, it is continuously transmitting. So welcome to the Arduino board. Welcome to the Arduino training. So like that, it's continuously printing. So that's why it's going to be continuously doing that one. You can able to see now. Here, it's continuously printing on the serial port. So with the 9600 baud rate. 9600 baud rate. Okay, so this is the another program. So after this, we will move to the next program. Which is called as a analog write. So we have seen about the digital write. Now we need to know about the analog write. What is meant by analog write? So if you connect a sensor in any analog pin from A0 to A6, then we can able to write the data to the analog pins. So here, what I am doing is I am utilizing a LED, so which is going to be connected to the pin number 9. So this is a LED which is connected to the pin number 9. So I am utilizing the analog write to the pin such that the LED will glow. So it's going to be glowing and it's going to be fading out. Okay, so like that. So first, so we need to, so this is a global variable in LED pin number 9. So pin number 9 is going to be connected to the LED. Next, here in the setup function, we have a do nothing. Next, if I go for the loop, so there I am utilizing the for loop. So initially the fade value is going to be 0 and the fade value is going to be up to 255 with the increment of the 5. So from 0 to 255 with the increment of the 5. That's the meaning of this for loop. Then I will write the analog value into the LED. The LED is connected to the pin number 9. So here the LED values will be written as a 5, 10, 15, 25, like that it will be done. So then, so the intensity of the light is continuously increasing. But it will be off after some time. It will be given to the 5, next 10, 20, 25, like that. It will be continuously incremented with the 5 steps. So it will be incremented. Next, after that one is the opposite one. The LED will fade out. So continuously it will increase, the LED intensity will increase and it will be fading out. So we will try to analyze this program. So we will try to execute this program on the board. Yes. The program is yes. So now I will directly go with the upload. So because in the previous section we have seen that, so if you go for the upload, then it automatically compares first, then it will upload the sketch. That's why I will directly go with the upload. So done uploading. So I need to connect the pins. So I am connecting the pins. So you can see here the intensity of the LED is going to be increased and decreased. It's continuously fading, it's continuously doing that one. So I have connected the LED with the pin number 9. Okay. So this is how the intensity or analog write, the function will work. So we have seen the digital write. So now we have seen about the analog write. Next, we will go for the next thing, which is called as a how to interface a push button. So let us take, I am having a push button. I need to interface that one with the Arduino. So how we can able to interface that one? So for that one, so we require to have the push button. So the push button is generally used for the reset operations. Something like as we have already seen the reset operations. So it will be look like this. So if it is open, the voltage is high. If it is closed, the voltage is low. So there is nothing but in the open condition, the output of the switch is a 1. By pressing the switch, we are going to be giving as a 0. Okay. So the interfacing diagram is going to be something look like this. Okay. So we need to connect the push button, and so if you see the program, how the program is going to be look like, the program is like this. Yes, I have connected the push button to the pin number 2. So that's why I have written as a button pin as a 2. Next LED pin will the 13 pin. LED is going to be connected to the 13 pin. So as usual. Next. Pin. Next. So the initial button state is going to be taken as a 0. So so we are assuming that the button state of the button state is equal to 0. So we have pushed the button. That's why the initial state we are assuming as a 0. Next, after that one, so you know this one now, the setup function. So there we have pin mode. So now we can able to see the pin mode, different things. So one pin mode, we have connected the LED as a output, and pin mode, the button is going to be taken as a input. See here, the LED pin is the output and button pin is the input. So we have connected the two devices, output pin, output and input. Okay, so pin mode. Next, we are having a loop function. So in this one, first we try to use the digital read. By using this function, I can able to read the button status, whether the button is a 0 in the 1. So when it is 0 is whenever we have pressed the button. When is 1 is nothing but whenever we release the button. Okay, so that's how. Okay, next. Next. After this, so this is how. So yes. So read the button. If the button state is equal to high, so button state is equal to high. So the meaning of that one is I have not pressed any button. I have not pressed any button. So then make the LED as a high. If the button is pressed, make the LED as a low. Okay. So now upload the program. Upload the program. It's going to be showing as a compiling the sketch, and it will upload the program. The status is going to be shown here. Yes, after uploading, so we need so after uploading, we need to connect the program. So it's continuously showing as a uploading the program. One second, please. Showing as the uploading program. Yes. After uploading the program, we can able to see that the program is uploaded and a switch a button is going to be interfaced with the UNO. Okay, so by pressing that one, we can able to see that the button is the LED is going to be high or low. Okay, so with this, we are going to be completing the session. So anybody having any queries, please type in your chat box.
If you have any queries, please share in chat box. Feedback and attendance link will send at the end of the session through mails. Okay, anybody having doubts?
So this is the basic about the Arduino Uno. So if you know these basics, then it will be easy to understand the MSP 430. So that's why today we have dedicated this one to the to Arduino Uno. Tomorrow we will try to explain you about the MSP 430.
Okay, okay, thank you, sir. Tomorrow at the same time, 11 o'clock only, we start the MSP 430.
Okay, thank you.
And we now close this session.
So we are going to close.
Okay, feedback link we send it through mails only at the end of the training.